Good morning. So last class we started with a new concept, so that is formation of Muslim League. I think the last class so I had given you the introduction regarding the formation of Muslim League. So today's class we will go with the very important topic of the lesson. So that will be objectives of Muslim League. Now, how like INC, political party or the first political party in India for people of Hinduism, and they had certain objectives to carry out in the Indian national movement in order to protect the rights of Hindus in India. In the same way, the second, the oldest political party in India, so that will be All India Muslim League, a party which was started to protect the rights of the Muslims in India. So they also had a certain objectives when they found this league, or when they found this political party, they are set out. Now in INC you can see four objectives, but in Muslim League they are having three objectives are there. Okay, so if you see three objectives, the first and foremost one is Muslim remained loyal to British. Okay, British, they started to express loyalty to British. Since the Islamic people, they were backward in education, they were backward in economy, and they were backward in all various reforms. The Muslims felt that their loyalty towards or loyal towards the British can bring the changes in certain areas. Okay, that was the thinking they had it. And at the same time, the loyal towards the British government also can make the growth of INC to come down. So keeping these two intention, the Muslims started to remain loyal to British. Okay, that is the first objective. Second one is All India Muslim League. This political party is formed to protect Islamic and to protect, advance the political rights of Muslims. Here, protect Muslims from INC as well as from British, as well as the political rights. Even Muslims should be given a representation, or representing, or they are representing in the British, imperial legislature or imperial legislative council. So in that, even these people also should be given political rights in the form of reservation of seats. Okay, that's the one aspect so which we are having. And the third one, if you see, prevent the Muslims' hostility towards the other communities without any prejudice. Okay, so your third very important thing is hostility. Not to identify themselves with other religion. Okay, not to identify. Hostility is nothing but you belong to a religion, but you don't identify yourself with another religion. So when you yourself with seeing some prejudice, when you identify yourself, so there the religious problem or a fight between two religions starts to take place. Okay, so the Muslim Nawabs, Muslim Zamindars, Muslim merchants, so they said the Muslims, you don't identify yourself with the other religions. Don't, write or don't measure the religion by the provisions given. Now Hinduism, they are given some provisions by British. So they are given, we are not given. So having a problem or creating a religious problem, that should not take place. Okay, and not only the Hinduism, even with the other communities, any religion. So the Islamic leaders, they asked not to identify or not to discriminate themselves from any of the prejudice of other religions. It can be any prejudice, nothing but any activities. It can be to the religion, so that we are not supposed to do it. Okay, so that means being away from the other communities in order to avoid the problems, or in order to avoid the communal rights, communal fights. Okay, that's the one aspect so which we are having it. So like this, All India Muslim League, the political party was formed, and it started to function, or it started to protect the Muslims almost from 1906 onwards. So 1906 over 1907, 8, 9, 10, like that it passed, and we reached to 1916. Okay, so 1916, if you see, a political party which was started with all these objectives. So in 1916, if you see the result of All India Muslim League, what was its outcome? If you see, one is anti-British movement was started by Muslims. That means even Muslims became, okay, even Muslims started to treat British people as a threat in India. This is a loyalty, or being a loyal is gone. Because the fair play of the British people were realized. INC realized early. Okay, INC realized earlier itself. But the Muslim League realized only in 1916. So when they realized, anti-British movement against them was started by Muslims. Okay, since they started anti-British movement against the Muslims, so next what happened? Hindu, Muslim, they joined together and they started the national movement with a common goal. Okay, two different political parties with two different objectives, but the goal is only one. Okay, so with that intention, so they started. And the next very important thing is INC and League demanded for self-government. This is a common goal. Okay, this is a common goal. Self-government. They started to ask. Earlier, since two political party was there, INC and League, so these people had a separate demand, these were separate demand. So British people, according to their need, they were giving hands to an INC or League. One time they helped INC and they fulfilled demand, then they rejected. So like this is the fair play. But now the common goal of the two political party was self-government. Okay, and the next very important thing is, in Lucknow, one pact was signed in 1916 between INC and League. Okay, so that means till we get independence, till we get self-government. So what are our activities should be in India. So that particular concept, so which we are having. So that's about the formation of Muslim League and Muslim League we are having. I just take this Lucknow Pact, one particular concept, and we will end up this lesson. So next we are having, that is our last topic, one results I will take it, that is the Lucknow Pact. So 1916, the Lucknow Pact was in Lucknow. The pact, one agreement was signed between the INC and League. What agreement? If you see, the Lucknow Pact refers to agreement regarding political reforms, certain political reforms. Okay, so the certain political reforms. The political reforms are nothing but here. Okay, so certain political reforms by both the organization regarding that one particular agreement was made in 1916 between the two organization or both organizations, that was INC and League. That's nothing but Lucknow Pact in 1916. So what are that political reforms? What are that political agreement? That political agreement, we can say it in a one phase of in positive impact, one of negative impact, both, but this together are political reforms. First, let me take up the positive impact of this Lucknow Pact when this political agreement was made. First and foremost thing is the unity of Hindu-Muslim. It was very important to our Indian national movement, which was very badly, it was need in Indian national movement. Okay, that Hindu and the Muslims, they got united, joined, and they started the national movement. And the second thing is very important is both the demands were only one, that is self-government. They did not have a separate demands. They had only one demand, that was self-government. That is the one political agreement. Then very important thing is assertive nationalist and early nationalist in 1916 they got united. Reconciled is nothing but united, got united. Okay, from 1885 to till 1916, In Indian national movement, in INC itself were two groups. So the two groups were combined and they represented only as a one group, that was INC. Okay, that is a very important political reforms which we had it. Okay, these are still there are many positive impact, but I have taken you only these three, important positive impacts. And at the same time, the political reforms in Lucknow Pact also, something negative also was there. Negative impact also was there. What is that negative impact means? INC and League. So when they signed these political reforms, so League had a demand for a communal electorate. Okay, communal electorate, to which INC agreed. Communal electorate means separate electorate system. Separate electorate system in the sense, now Hinduism will vote for only Hindu representatives. Okay, then the Muslims will vote for only Muslim representatives. This is nothing but communal electorate system or separate electorate system. Okay, the Hindu will vote only Hindu representatives. Muslim will vote only Muslim representatives. That's nothing but the communal electorate system. Okay, that scheme was introduced from 1916 onwards. Okay, religion. They are voting only the religion representative, their own representatives. So that's concept started. The next thing is, now 1916 when the Lucknow Pact, when it was signed only, the Muslims joined the Indian national movement. I mean, they joined with the Indian national movement. They were traveling with the Indian national movement, but completely involving and complete joining was started to take place only in 1916 after the sign of Lucknow Pact. So, but from the beginning, if you go back, the most important recognition and the most important role that was played by a Hindu leaders. So that concepts are what made more sacrifices was only on the part of Hindu leaders. Okay, that's one of the negative impact which was started to take up. Then very important thing is communal tension. What is that communal tension? Okay, we got independence. Okay, fine. After getting independence, we are getting self-government. Fine. This self-government will be given to whom? Either to INC or to League. This was a big question mark. Communal tension. Why here we call it communal tension means INC, Hinduism, League, Muslims. So communal tension. What will be when self-government gets? What will happen to INC? What will happen to League? What will happen to the Hinduism? What will happen to the Muslims? That was a great question mark. Finally, what happened? India got divided into two, India and Pakistan. It's because of communal tension. Okay, so that's about the Lucknow Pact and its positive and the negative impact. So here we end up the lesson, that is formation of Muslim League, and here the second phase of national movement concept ends. So in the next class we will either go with the third national phase of national movement, that's of Gandhiji, or we will go with the civics concept. So still here you go through it. So coming days you will have a test on this first lesson and second lesson, that is first war of Indian independence and the growth of nationalism. So be preparing. So I will tell you the date, and as well as I will tell you when the test will be conducted. Maybe after after 2 weeks it will be set. So take a time and have a preparation on the two lessons, that is first war of Indian independence and as well as the growth of nationalism. Two lessons, be prepared. So we will have the test. Thank you.